All right, boys and girls, so for this second video, I need you to get out your workbook and turn to page 224 in your workbook. So go ahead and pause this video and go get your workbook and then start it back up. As soon as you have your workbook opened with a pencil and page 224, maybe have somewhere to work, maybe sit at a table or something so you can have your workbook open. So if you haven't paused the video yet, go ahead and pause it and open up to page 224 in your workbook. All right, so you should have your workbook open and have your computer sitting where you can listen to me and work along in the workbook just like I'm going to do with you. So a certain rectangle has an area of 693 square meters. This rectangle is 7 meters wide. How long is it? So first we're going to make a sketch that shows what we know about the situation. Let's just go ahead and draw a rectangle. So go ahead and do this with me. If you need to pause the video to catch up, you can. So rectangle, we're going to do 7 meters over here. And we know that that's one of the dimensions, is 7 meters wide. And we know the area on the inside is 693 square meters. So go ahead and do exactly what I just did. And we don't know what this dimension is. So we're dividing. So we have to do 693 divided by 7. Again, if you have to pause the video to catch up, go ahead and do that. But make sure you're doing this with me in your workbook. So now we're going to go ahead and do the area model, the array model, area model. I call it the area model. So let's go ahead and do another rectangle. But this time, what we're going to do is we're going to do 7 times 100, because if I know that a 7 times 100 gives me 700. So look how close I am to 693 if I do 7 times. So I know it has to be a little bit less than 100. So if I take 1 7 off of here, if I cut off one column of 7, so that means, let's say this is 7 right here, and I take, that's a 1 by 7, right? A 7 by 7. Yeah, well, actually, it's a 7 by 1. Yeah, 7 by 1. So 7 by 1, that's 7. So if I take that off of this, I get 693. 690, or 700 minus 693 gives me 7. So I'm 7 away. So, in other words, 100 times 7 minus a 1 by 7 gives me 693. So if I take 700 and I take away this 7 right here, if I take this part away, I'm left with 693. So 693 divided by 7 equals 99, because this up here is going to be 99. 100 minus 1 gives me 99. So the answer is 99. Now let me go ahead and show you another way, and you don't have to do this with me. If you want to, you can. Like, get out a scrap piece of paper. If you need to go ahead and pause the video, go get a piece of paper, and we'll go ahead and do this doing long division. I do recommend you do this with me so you learn how to do long division. So 693 divided by 7. So 7 goes into 60. 7 does not go into 6, but 7 does go into 69. So think of your 7s. So 7 times what gives you something close to 69? So 7 times 9. What is 7 times 9? 7 times 9. Think of your 7s. What is 7 times 9? So 7 times 9 is 63. Because 7 times 10 would be 70, and that's too much. So 7 does not go into 6. I could put a 0 up here. Some people put an X up here because they know that 7 does not go into 6. But I still have to keep the 6, and I combine it with the 9, 69. So 7 goes into 69. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 minus, now I'm going to subtract. 9 minus 3, 6. And then I'm going to bring the 3 down. 7 goes into 63. Exactly 9 times. So there's no remainder. So the answer is 99. Now if you notice, it's kind of like this box, right? I mean, you see kind of this box here, 7. You know what I mean? Here's the area and the dimension 7, so the top dimension has to be 99. It's kind of like a division problem. Let's go ahead and do another one together. So number 2 in your workbook. Use an array or a ratio table to model and solve 2a and 2b and show all of your work. So we're going to use a ratio table for the first one. I'm going to use the area model for the first one, the array model, and then I'm going to use the ratio table for the bottom one. So let's go ahead and draw. We're trying to get up to, so I'm going to go ahead and I need to get up to 7,147. So let's go ahead and draw. This is going to be my 7. So let's go ahead and draw a box that's 1,000. Let's just go ahead and do a 7 by 1,000. What's 7 by 1,000? 7 by 1,000 is 7,000. So right away, look how close I am to 7,147. So I know the answer to the division problem, because this is a division problem, 7,147 divided by 7. So I know that the answer has to be higher than 1,000. So let's go ahead and do 20, because a 10 would not be enough. I can make something bigger than that. So let's do a 20. So 7 by 20, 7 times 10 is 70. So 7 times 20 is 140. And then all I need is one more 7. So this is a 1 by 7 here. So altogether, so if I add all that up, if I add up 7,147 altogether. So the answer is 1,000 plus 20 plus 1. So the answer to this division problem equals 1,021. And I'll show you long division in a moment for that. So let's go ahead and do a ratio table down here for this one. This is a division problem. So I'm going to do a 1 by 7 here. This is 1 over 7. So let's jump to 100, and that's 700. And again, I want you to do this with me. So if I'm going too fast, you can pause the video. And then let's do 500. 500 would be, so 7 times 5 is 35, and then 2 zeros. Let's do 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So look how close I am to 3,521. So I have 3,521. So if I add up the 500 and the 3, these two put together, and then that means these two put together give me 3,521. So the answer is 503. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you with my little note card here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the long division for this problem. And again, if you want to practice this with me, you can. I recommend you do this. So here is long division. So I'm going to do 7,147 divided by 7. That's how you set up the division problem. So first I divide. How many times does 7 go into 7? 7 divided by 7 is 1. And 7 times 1 is 7. So then I subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0. I'm going to bring this 1 down. Now 7 does not go into 1. So that's 0. Now I don't want to forget about this 1. I'm going to bring the 4 down now. 7 goes into 14 2 times. 7 times 2 is 14. 0 remaining. 14 minus 14 is 0. Then I'm going to bring the 7 down. 7 goes into 7 1 time. So the answer is 1,021. I had to sneeze there. And let's go ahead and do the second one. And let's go ahead and do division as well, long division. So 3,521 divided by 7. 7 goes into 35. 7 does not go into 3, so I'm going to put an X there. 7 goes into 35 5 times. And 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract, I get 0. Bring the 2 down. Does 7 go into 2? 7 does not go into 2. So I'm going to put a 0 up here. I didn't put a 0 up here because you can't have a number that starts with a 0. That's why I put an X on there. Now 7 does not go into 2, so that's 0. Now I'm going to bring this 1 down and make it 21. 7 goes into 21 how many times? 3. 7 times 3 is 21. And there's no remaining. So the answer is 503. All right, so now what you need to do is work on page 225, I believe, in your workbook. 225 in your workbook. No, actually, those are the challenge problems. So if you want to do the challenge problems, you can. But I want you to work on page 226 in your workbook. And I will have a Google form for you to fill out for these answers. But you can work, you can do them any way you want to do them. This one here is a multiplication problem. So what's the area? You have to multiply 72 by 96. And then this one is a division problem. So 189 divided by 9. So this is very similar to the problems that we just did. And this is a multiplication problem and then a division problem.